Hey guys, today's theme is all about hope. Jerry.oh here, holistic coach, helping people learn how to break habits and create habits. The last few months it's become acutely evident that not just the majority of people in the US are having anxiety issues, but that most of us now are. On the outside chance you don't stick around to the end of this video, it's worth noting that the largest part of the demographic now being affected is teenagers and those in their early 20s. So if you know somebody if there's somebody you know that may need some reaching out to, please do it. A nice byproduct of helping somebody like that is you'll actually feel good also. A big part of the isolation syndrome is anxiety and depression, with the worst part being the feeling of being all alone. When we go through this, we feel that we're all by ourselves and nobody else is going through this, that we're different, something's wrong with us. We can underestimate what a quick, simple phone call just to say hello could do. So even though I normally deal with professionals because that's my background and who I identify with the most, I also know we all have way more in common than we do different. And since the cause and effects are all the same, we know the best way for us to cope with this and manage this higher level anxiety is by talking about it and having conversations. What's up, Jeremy? So that's what we're doing here. With so many things going on, it's very easy to get consumed and stressed, which can lead to those feelings of hopelessness. And once there, it's very easy to become stuck. So if we look at the number one reason we're all stressed right now, it's because of the uncertainty. The only fact right now is certain. The only certain fact right now is there's a whole lot of uncertainty going on at this moment, which leads us into fear. We've spoken in the past about how our minds work, that if we insert some uncertainty, some unknown, our mind automatically goes into a defensive posture, just looking out for danger. And once we start down this pathway of thinking, it becomes habitual very quickly. Isolation and loneliness, definitely big triggers for us. It's just not how we're built to live. And it only leads to more anxiety and fear, and then it starts going into helplessness. Okay, so how do we cope and deal with the anxiety and hopelessness? It would be helpful to start by purposely looking for the good. Even in the worst of situations, if we really want to, we could find something good. It doesn't have to be something earth-shattering, lotto winning. It could be just simple as a walk in nature. And if that's not doable at the moment, reminiscing in our minds about that or something else enjoyable. If we could commit to doing this even once a day, it'll start a neural pathway to a whole nother way of thinking that can calm us down and balance out our minds. Next tip is to take some time outs. And again, probably not realistic for us to think we could start a meditation practice of an hour, a half hour, even right off the bat. But we can easily develop a timeout of a 1-minute body scan. Once again, if we commit to doing something like this at least once a day, every day, it will be the beginning of a healthy habit. Great payoff side effect of this is being able to embrace change. And we know the opposite of accepting change is to try to hang on and dig in, which then only leads to the true suffering. Practical, radical acceptance definitely is a true game changer. Next, as we spoke about in the last video, we have this addiction to outrage, which is not surprising since irritability is building block of all learning. Having that habit where we hear something we don't agree with, dogs just jumped in the water, hopefully he's coming back. We throw up these big walls and then completely shut down. Aside from cognitive bias that leads us to this, there's also our inability to set boundaries, to be able to say no, or no to talk about something we're not okay with for us. With a little bit of practice, we can become comfortable saying no without all the guilt and stigma that's attached. This could be a starting point to having a productive conversation, or at the very least, learning how to set boundaries. Learning how to set boundaries is the beginning of learning how to be loving and caring towards ourselves. And that will naturally start to outflow to others. Okay, guys, so did I just lose connection? I keep getting okay, guys, let's all think about having some conversation. If you're not feeling confident about your ability to have uncomfortable conversations, remember the most important conversation really is the one we have with ourselves, and it's a great starting point. Let's make a promise to ourselves to be able to stop, feel, validate our feelings, which then leads to us being able to problem solve our way out of being stuck, and then into a more fully engaged, meaningful way of being. Yeah, so the antidote to anxiety and hopelessness is producing meaningfulness. I don't know whose bright idea it was, but we know now we can only find meaningfulness on the other side of uncomfortability and irritability. What if we were to make a commitment to ourselves right now to pick one key habit to focus on for the next 30 days? The easiest and my favorite is the gratitude thought. Number 2 would be the 1-minute body scan. So can we do an experiment and try one of these or something else that you're comfortable with, like breathing, whatever you like. Just try them for 30 days and see what happens. I know for a fact you'd be pleasantly surprised. 30 days seems like a long time. You could start by doing 3 days in a row, which is the magic number. Also, just think about how quickly the last 30 days have passed and wonder where you might be, what might be different right now if you had practiced every day for the last 30 days. Difference might be some type of new meaning, some excitement going on right now. Might be experiencing a little bit of comfortability in our skin maybe. And that's it, guys. Getting a little distracted, a little concerned. Tonka. I'm gonna wrap up. Love you guys. Have a good night. Later.